Have you ever felt totally frustrated by how disconnected local commerce can sometimes feel? Whether you're trying to sell something you've made or you're just trying to find a reliable local service, navigating your own town's economy can be surprisingly tough. Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we are digging into a blueprint that completely reimagines how local economies actually function. It's called the District Central Market System, or DCM. We're going to break down the mechanics of this really ambitious proposal step by step using the primary source document.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The unmanaged market problem. 2. Markets as public infrastructure. 3. The DCM system explained. 4. Physical and digital integration. 5. Expected economic outcomes. And 6. The implementation pathway.
Section 1. The unmanaged market problem. The human cost of abstract forces.
To really grasp the foundation of this proposal, we kind of have to challenge the traditional, highly academic way we usually think about local economies. The source document hits the nail on the head here. It says, market forces do not experience hardship. It is an abstract idea. The burden of disorganization falls upon actual participants. That is such a grounding thought, isn't it? When a system leaves market organization totally up to uncontrolled forces, the mechanisms that are supposed to serve people end up routinely harming them. It's almost like the invisible hand of the market sometimes ends up visibly slapping the very people trying to use it.
So who actually bears the cost of all this chaos? Well, it's real, everyday participants. It's producers with perishable goods who have no predictable buyers and literally just have to watch their hard work rot away. It's small traders trying to navigate highly fragmented markets with zero price transparency. It's local service providers who are practically invisible to anyone outside their immediate street. And of course, it's us, consumers who can't easily compare or verify the supplies we need. Ultimately, this affects entire households whose daily survival relies on exchange. The proposal argues these aren't just minor inconveniences, they're deep, systemic barriers.
Moving to Section 2, Markets as Public Infrastructure, a paradigm shift in economic policy.
To solve these barriers, the proposal introduces a massive foundational concept, the District Central Market, or DCM system. It's defined as a coordinated public market infrastructure that integrates physical market hubs with a unified digital platform in every single district. Let's make sure we really anchor ourselves on this definition. The DCM isn't just another e-commerce app, and it definitely isn't just a government-run bazaar. Think of it less like a massive bureaucratic program and much more like a town square that's been seriously upgraded for the 21st century. It's a foundational support structure to make markets work reliably for everyone.
And this brilliantly illustrated that core philosophy. In an unmanaged local market, we naturally get informal monopolies, chronic information asymmetry, and people being geographically excluded. But the DCM framework offers a really provocative alternative. What if we treat market accessibility like utility infrastructure? Think about it. We don't just cross our fingers and hope roads, the water supply, or the electrical grid magically organize themselves. We organize and maintain them as absolute essentials. This proposal argues we need to do the exact same thing for local market access.
Section 3. The DCM system explained. The physical hub.
So, under this system, every district would establish a physical district market hub. Now, it's absolutely crucial to clarify that this isn't just a weekend farmer's market. It is a comprehensive multi-sector exchange infrastructure. Imagine being able to drop off your agricultural harvest, get a tractor repaired, and ship a package all in one organized local zone. It brings together agriculture, manufactured goods, services, and logistics. It's designed to act as the physical anchor for the entire district's economy.
And this physical hub serves 4 very specific functions all at once. First, it's a visibility center, a publicly known place where you can easily find what you need, completely slashing search costs. Second, it's a circulation node, meaning it's a reliable physical point where goods and money actually change hands quickly and, importantly, stay in the community. Third, it operates as an aggregation point, taking scattered sellers and organizing them into one space. And finally, it serves as a public exchange infrastructure. It's a real institution that builds predictability and trust.
Section 4. Physical and digital integration, the DCM app.
But you might be wondering, how does this actually work in the digital age? I mean, a physical hub is great, but how does this function when we're all glued to our smartphones? Well, that brings us to the second half of the system, the DCM app.
The DCM app acts as the digital face of this district market. It doesn't replace the physical hub, it extends it. Through the app, you can discover products, compare sellers, and locate service providers. But here's what makes it a real game changer. It prioritizes real-time availability and visibility.
It shows actual confirmed stock and service availability. Because let's be honest, there's literally nothing more frustrating than buying something online only to find out it's back-ordered for 6 weeks, or that the seller doesn't even exist. Speculative listings, totally banned here.
So the absolutely crucial point is this critical design constraint right here. The DCM app isn't just another listing aggregator. It is a strict physical to digital coordination tool. Every single digital listing has to correspond to a verifiable physical supply point anchored by the hub. The entire value proposition of this app is absolute reliability, not just presenting you with an endless volume of ghost listings.
The app is built to answer the exact questions that typical e-commerce platforms usually obscure. Where's this item physically located right now? Can I go pick it up today? Who is the actual verifiable seller responsible for this? By syncing up the physical layer with the digital layer, the whole system completely removes the mystery and the risk from local transactions.
Section 5. Expected economic outcomes. The real-world impact.
Let's talk real-world impact, starting with the buyers. Imagine going from stumbling around in the dark with messy, opaque searches to instantly seeing organized, verified listings right on your phone. Instead of having zero price benchmarks and just guessing if you're getting ripped off, you get clear, comparative visibility. And rather than relying on hidden middlemen who take a cut without adding any value, you finally get direct, transparent access to the actual sellers.
Now let's move to the other side and see how this builds for the sellers. Picture a local service provider who's currently trapped paying algorithm fees on private platforms and who can only really reach their immediate neighborhood. The DCM system liberates them by providing a massive, district-wide presence through public infrastructure. And instead of totally irregular, unpredictable demand, they get to enter an organized system with reliable circulation.
When you scale up those individual benefits for both buyers and sellers, you get a massive boost to the entire district economy. The document points to higher transaction density, which is really just a fancy way of saying more people are successfully exchanging goods. That leads to increased money velocity, which basically means the same dollar gets spent 2 or 3 times in your town before leaving it. It creates deep local integration, connecting producers directly to consumers, and ultimately, that builds serious commercial resilience. The district stops being so dependent on fragile external supply chains.
Section 6. The implementation pathway, making it reality. Obviously, to make this a reality, the proposal outlines a heavy administrative architecture. You can't just open a building, launch an app, and call it a day. You need a dedicated support structure to keep things fair. This means strict seller registration and verification. It requires dedicated hub management for the physical side, platform administration for the digital side, logistics coordination, and, absolutely crucially, a really accessible dispute resolution mechanism to handle any buyer-seller conflicts.
Because this is such a huge undertaking, the proposal outlines a very smart phased rollout. Phase 1 is a pilot program in just 2 to 3 districts, and the document is clear that these pilot districts need to be diverse. They want to test this in rural, peri-urban, and urban environments. Phase 2 is all about deeply evaluating that usage data. Phase 3 is refining the app and the physical hubs based on what they learned. And only after all of that is Phase 4 initiated, which is the full rollout to everywhere else. It's a very measured, data-driven approach.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the DCM system. It leaves us with a really profound question to chew on. Could treating local markets not as abstract forces, but as actual, vital public infrastructure be the key to fixing our local economies? It is a bold, provocative rethinking of how we organize opportunity at the local level. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.